Look, as soon as Minnie makes contact in the seventh.
Great base running play.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that.
You're sitting there, they're playing a 3 depth in the infield, so we're not going to let them turn 2. So we're going to give them out at the plate to keep them turning 2 and make them get 2 more outs. But so I think that read, the read we had going helped Jonesy get off to a good break there. But
Is that an instinctive thing for him too? I mean, is that something you guys have?
It's something that's the play that was on, because I'm not. The problem is the non-turnable double play is the one you don't go on. So that's where the tough read comes in, where he's concerned. So that's him, and knowing where the third baseman's playing, how far he's got to come, and the angle that throw he's got to make over his back. There's a lot of factors, but it happens in about half a second. So you got to think about it before. The firm ground ball, he knows he's going. The tough read is that you get a non-turnable double play ball there, and you can't let them have an out at home plate when they weren't going to get 2 anyway.
But I know it's June 3rd, but 3 days ago you lost 2 games to the Red Sox, and they put a little space between them and you, and wasn't looking. I mean, if you look at everything that was going on and who was coming up, it didn't look very good. And suddenly you're back out with the best record in the American League, and you're in first place again.
Are we?
Yeah. I mean,
Thanks.
so how quick that can.
Yeah, it's a reminder all of us. We try not to get. We're never as good and never as bad, and you try to keep some sense. But it's human nature to think about it. I don't. My wife will tell you I don't look at highlights or standings or anything when I know it doesn't behoove my attitude. So, you control that. We control that. Some people do it differently. I just ignore it. No, I don't ignore it. I just don't look at it. But, no, you're exactly right. I know some things you just can't get into that sky is falling syndrome, because if you do, it will fall.
Is that the most important thing you do as a manager overall with the culture of the team?
The players do that. The players do that. That's how they choose to approach life and competition. That you may start out that way and place emphasis on it, but I and the coaches and the players can't come in here real high one day and real low the next day. I told you many times, you come in here, match up, playing a team that's been struggling, you're going well, and you go home and you go, what happened? Then you come in here sometime, you're facing one of the best pitchers in baseball, and you may have a guy that's been struggling, not swinging the bats, and you go home and say, geez, where'd that come from? That's pretty nice. So, as Billy told me a long time ago, you assume the position and see what the game has in store for you every night. I see something every night I've never seen before. Have you ever seen a shift where the third baseman who was playing over in the seam had to dive down to not get hit by the double play relay in the first inning? We were all trying. You go through phases where you're trying to hold your mouth from laughing, and then you go, what the heck? I mean, they will see that again in the next meeting. That's pretty entertaining. And that's exactly what he should do, because he's trying to get to third base. Because, Matt was there where he was supposed to be. Pitchers, if he doesn't go to cover first, is supposed to be there. But, if we don't get it turned at second, we got to be able to cover third because the guy's safe. So Ryan's doing what he's supposed to do. And definitely, I'm sure his mom and dad and his fiance thought he was doing what he was supposed to do by diving, not getting hit in the coconut there.
So putting aside what's obviously happening when he swings the bat, how impressed are you with Kim, with his ability to recognize pitches from pitchers he's never seen before? And what do you attribute that to?
Well, I think if you look at, you never know how things over there are going to correlate here. And, he doesn't have 100 bats yet. So far, so good. And I think everybody in the clubhouse feels really good for him. If you think about a lot of the, I don't know, you could call it national pressure back home that was on him, because there's a lot of guys who would like to come over here and play. And the way that maybe that's looked at is enhanced by him doing well. Maybe he doesn't look at it that way. But what was your original question?
It's just his ability to recognize.
Well, yeah, that's what I was going to say.
He's never seen before.
And that's why I thought early on it might have helped him kind of sitting back and watching a lot of things and saying, yeah, I can do this. But he's always been selective. My point was, I don't know if I was asking him earlier in spring and the year when I was watching him, instead of 10 pitches over there, how many would you see breaking ball? He said 7 to 8. So that's something he sees. And but I think how much want to he's got. So I'm saying the ability to have a feel for the strike zone is a great trait for him to carry, because he I'm gonna tell you, as the year goes on, he'll run into some. He'll run into some. I think we messed up. We talked about in the spring of putting him in the wrong hitting group early on, and thinking that that's what he was supposed to do every time he swung. So that was probably our mistake. Of course, it's not a really good hitting group to put him in if that's the problem, right? My hitting group. Put him in Ben and Mike's hitting group.